Yo, what's going on, guys? And today, I wanted to talk about who will the Brooklyn Nets be signing in free agency. Yes, that is a great topic of discussion, but before we start that intriguing video, I want to hear your thoughts down below. Who do you guys think the Brooklyn Nets are going to sign in free agency? So let's get right into today's video, guys, and let's talk about it. So, yes, this team has a lot of free agents, okay? You could argue more than other teams, like they definitely have a need to find somebody. Okay, so they have a mid-level exception of 5.9, which they can split it up, this set exception, and bring in a couple veterans, or they can simply use it on one guy to upgrade an off-the-bench scorer. Now, I think the best option, obviously, is to split it up. Because, look, when you look at the books, DeAndre Jordan's still on the books. And he was a guy who just didn't play at all. I think they need to move on from DeAndre Jordan because they had Claxton playing over him. And Johnson could kind of fill his role, hopefully. Shamit, Dinwiddie's leaving. He's declining his player option. He's made that. Joe Harris, Irving, Durant, and Harden are all under contract with Green, who's probably not going to come back. Tyler Johnson, Timothy Luwawu Cabarro, Bruce Brown, Blake Griffin, Chiazu, Mike James, and Reggie Perry. Reggie Perry, Chris Chiazza, sorry, tell me how to say that name correctly. Mike James could all come back theoretically. Same thing, I think Bruce Brown, Timothy Luwawu, who could all come back. I don't know if that's the best. They're a little young. They might want other players, and that's where I look like I want them to bring in players, but it might be older dudes. And like a guy like Paul Millsap would be good for them. Yes, he wasn't the best, but if he comes in, plays 15, 20 minutes a night like this past year, he shot 35% from three and over 40% while averaging 9 points and like 4 rebounds a game. I think that'd be good if they could bring him on a minimum contract. I think they wouldn't mind that at all. Again, I want to hear those thoughts down below. What would you guys do if you were the Brooklyn Nets? What are you guys looking at? Like for me, I'm thinking, what's the best way for us to maximize the player around us? I think it's just trying to get as many 3 and D defenders, okay? So I think that's obviously one of the scariest parts is trying to find players that fit what they're doing. They need guys who can run the floor, spread the ball, get rebounds, and play good defense. And I think, is that hard to find? No, but like you got to make the decision. You want younger or older guys, and because potentially could be getting just older guys. So I do want to see, and I do, I do want to see the Brooklyn Nets succeed. Obviously, not the world's biggest Kevin Durant fan, but I do like the idea. Another guy they could bring in, I did say Andre Iguodala, who is a guy who's set to hit free agency, and the former NBA Finals MVP could make sense for Brooklyn. Yes, Iggy's nowhere near the player he was with the Golden State Warriors a few years back, but he can still make an impact on both ends of the court if they don't play him much in the regular season, boasting a plus level defense and ability to handle a rock. He's the type of free agent that the Brooklyn Nets should target if they want more flexibility off the bench. Now, assuming DeAndre Jordan isn't going to be back at the next year, acquiring a veteran big man is a priority. And we saw during the playoffs, Brooklyn couldn't just rely on Nick Claxton playing heavy minutes. And Dwight Howard would be a great target for the Nets. And he's a guy who come in and do what they needed DeAndre or Jordan to do. Because the Brooklyn Nets are in good position as top end championship contenders with 3 future first ballot Hall of Famers. It's the injury issues that they need guys to come in. Another guy, a guy they can bring in. I know a lot of you guys have injuries and like they're older, but Goran Dragic, with both Harden and Irving being able to play the point guard, this might not seem to be much of a need. However, the injury issues this past season will likely create the need for another veteran ball handler. Miami is going to decline his contract this year, meaning this guy's going to hit free agency. And yes, he saw a downtick in production, but he could earn a smallish short deal for backing up a team like this. Now, if they don't want to go with Dwight Howard, a guy like Bismack Biyombo is someone perfect. Adding a defensive minded big man that can grab rebounds is perfect. At 29 years old, Biombo could be looking to cash in as free agent for the last time in his career, but if he wants to prioritize winning a championship, the Nets are perfect for him. The Nets get a got a big man with playoff experience. He's played in 23 post game career games with the Charlotte Bobcats and Toronto Hornets, Toronto Raptors. I was gonna say also slash Hornets because he was also on the Bobcats and Hornets. And he's known as a rebounder, rim protector, two things that the Nets need. So he could be a sneaky good signing for like a team that people wouldn't expect, you know. And I think another position is wing. They need a lot of guys. Like Derrick Jones Jr. would be so cool for them to be there for to replace Jeff Green. Yes, you lose shooting there, but I think what you gain in Derrick Jones Jr. is way better. So with NBA free agents, I think I think wings or guys who can play shooting guard, small forward, or power forward, any of those three positions are ideal. Obviously, a center is one of the most important. But if we look over here at the top free agents in this year's, according to Hoop Hypes, I think if they start looking down, realistically, I mean, Reggie Bullock would be awesome. Kent Bazemore would be all right. Andre Iguodala, I already mentioned him. Trevor Ariza is a swingman who can play either front court position. His floor spacer with some slashing ability and can defend multiple positions. Shot 35% this past year. Derrick Jones is, again, a guy who, yes, his offense is limited to slashes, dunks, and transition, but he's so physically gifted for defense. Otto Porter would need to take a pay cut, but he's a guy who could come in and just be... And I think, like, he's got the size and stuff, and he's a great three-point shooter. Torrey Craig's another guy. James Ennis. David Nwaba, yeah, you get no shooting, but that's decent. Justin Winslow's a guy, another no shooting, but you get the defense. Glove Robinson the third, 3-and-D guy, who's more consistent than Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, who I think they should take out, but, like, should keep. And, yeah, I think there's so many guys, like Isaac Bonga, or if they could swing a trade, not a trade, but Justin Jackson. There's so many players that they could get the wing position. They need 3-and-D. 3-and-D guys, in my opinion. So, I want to hear you guys' opinions down below. What do you guys think? Who would you guys sign if you were the Brooklyn Nets? But, yeah, I think confidently we can say that's basically the video today, guys. I don't know what you guys would do if you were the Brooklyn Nets. It's a very interesting situation they're in because you're like, what should they do? And it's just kind of hit or miss the type of situation. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me hear them in the comments and all that good shit. But peace out. Bye bye.